Dictators excite only pity and a feeling of disgust because of human vices. Their weakness for them are obvious. The weaknesses and vices of humanity are so obvious and noticeable in dictators that they can be demonstrated as a lesson for children. The one who became the dictator obviously fell into all the traps and gave in to all the temptations that we ourselves can and must resist. You can easily see imminent decrepitude and helplessness in young dictators as each of them comes to such things. Dictators often die before they are taken away by death, becoming doppelgangers of themselves, of people who they once used to be, just doppelgangers. So the living man within the dictator is another one of his victims, as well as a hostage. First, he believes the deception. Then he becomes a galley slave until he finally dies. Dictators can't avoid madness because once their minds were telling them to stop, but they couldn't, as they were driven by their weaknesses. Madness gives them some relief, so that the truth that they know may not torment them anymore. Yet the other sick truth can take root in their madness. But even the last spark of consciousness before this madness shows them who they really are, and it highlights all the mediocrity of their time and life. It highlights how it really looks, and how it will look after them. It makes them go absolutely mad, because they can't live with it, and they don't have the power to fix anything in their weakness. Their henchman always assures everyone, and primarily them, that dictators are strong and the people weak. But it's not that they are strong and that we are weak. We, the helpless, do more for the world and people than we can, even if it's not very much. Dictators are the weakest of all. Those who could have done so much for people, who had all the opportunities but did nothing, who failed to do anything. Such weak people are born so rarely. You have to make your heart a stone and make your soul blind and deaf. Cover it up with the darkness of flattery in order not to help sufferers when you are able to help them. And you must always be unfair and dishonest, even if there's no longer any point in this. You need to lose the ability to hear your own soul. You need to silence its words with anything, at the least with shouts of flattery. You have to refuse the joy of compassion, of humanity, in order not to share the things which you have in abundance with other people who are in despair. Because they have it all, dictators could have helped everyone. But they can't, as they are powerless. But how weak they are. They can't give anything, but take everything from those who already have literally nothing. They take everything for themselves, they who already have so much. They take what other people need. They silence their soul and cover up the truth with flattery from themselves. But they actually know that it's just flattery. They know it better than all of us do. However, in their vanity, which is burning them from the inside, they are fine with that. And if their minds can't stand this, deception and madness comes to their aid. They can neither accept nor put up with the fact that all people are equal. All are different, yet all are equal. They can't see that other people are just as good as they are, just as good, and that they are the same. They don't have and never had rights to any other things. Now they won't be able to recognize all that they've done to other people. They prefer madness and the darkness of flattery. They'd better wait until the one who is hidden within them finally dies, so they will become an empty shell. Shallow, shallow people. I wish they would have left just a little human joy, just a little light for their souls. But this would be dreadful torture for them, so they can't do this. True people come into this world in order to nurture their souls, in order to get close to the light, in order to weave common happiness and humanity out of compassion and love. They come in order to grow, to become more and more lively, pure, bright, in order to get rid of the demons and vices. For all these vices and for all these weaknesses, people have to pay with their souls. People who aren't free. People who can't be compassionate to others, who can't be honest, who can't be themselves, can't be pure, who can't live in the light. They are either condemned to suffer or are already shallow. Shallow, like empty shells. I wish these people on the inside had at least a bit of strength in order to free themselves from the demons which they serve, from their masters, from weaknesses, from vanity, in order to become just a little bit freer, to become free again, to become people just like all of us again. But they have no power to do this. They don't have it now, and they will never have it. They will be the slaves of their demons forever. Blind and deaf madmen, That's what dictators always become by the end of their lives. This is a journey that sometimes lasts for decades, but it still comes to an end. The truth is that they are just hollow wax dolls, and all of them are losers. They are always the past, because the passing of time leaves them no chance, and the future has no place for them. They are always the past. And after all, their children change their surnames in order not to meet the same fate, in order not to share their fate with them, in order to have at least a single chance to be just people, to love and to have compassion, to do everything that they themselves couldn't because of their weakness. But I feel pity that afterward, these dictators are remembered just in third-rate comic movies and jokes, and dusty historical books. Because everything about them is so clear to everyone, even without the books. Everything has long been clear to everyone. I suppose their stories have to be learned and shown to people in class as an extreme example of human weakness, so their lives can make sense at least in this way, so it can help other people and do something of light after all the darkness and hopelessness. They are the best example of a human whose soul was eaten away by vices and weaknesses. Perhaps, after all that they did, being in the place where they end up, they would like to do this, would like to do at least something of light, something they failed to do in their life. But we can do it, being alive and real, as strong people. We can make light out of everything.